Hello and welcome back to Fairy Stamper. This is Amanda from Rise and Procrastinate, and I'm back with another Fairy Stamper design team project. And today I'm going to do a very quick and easy project. Haven't been feeling well, and well, we all need some quick and easy projects sometimes. So I'm starting out with the Galaxy Fairy-Scapes background paper. This is a 6x6 background. You get a pack of, I believe it's 6 of them. And there's quite a variety of designs on the Fairy Stamper website. Like I said, I chose the Galaxy one. I kind of thought that it looked like a winter scene, and since a lot of people are still finishing up their Christmas cards and such, I thought that it would be kind of along that theme. I'm doing a birthday card. Some people do have their birthdays around this time of year, and they kind of feel like they get shafted because, well, it's around Christmas time. So I thought that I would do a winter-themed birthday card. So I've got the Echo Park Whirling Spells stencil here. This is found on the Fairy Stamper website. And then I'm just doing a couple distress inks here in blue. I started off with Tumbled Glass, and then I did Broken China, and then I'm mixing in some Salty Ocean as well. I kind of did a little bit of variation between the Broken China and the Salty Ocean. I just kind of did them in little spots. That way I got a little bit of variation to my ink blending. So now I'm taking off the stencil. I'm going to show you how that looks. And I'm going to flip the stencil over and use the backside, if there is a backside to the stencil. But I'm just going to use the opposite side from what I did the ink blending through. That way I get a little bit different pattern to my Whirling Spells stencil. I'm using this as a wind, by the way, or kind of like a snowstorm. So now I'm going to take some VersaMark Re-Inker. You could definitely use the pad for this if you do not have a Re-Inker. I just prefer to use the Re-Inker. I feel like I get a little bit faster results, I guess, rather than squishing my mini ink blending tool into the foam pad itself. So I just put a drop or two on my glass mat, and then I take the mini ink blending tool and I pick that up, kind of swirl my mini ink blending tool into it to saturate the foam pad on the blending tool. And then I take my mini ink blending tool and I just kind of squish and twist into the stencil. That way I get in all those little tiny holes and grooves. You don't want the tool too saturated, because otherwise it will squish underneath the stencil and then you obviously wouldn't get a crisp pattern. But you do want it saturated enough that you get it into all those little tiny holes and grooves. So now that I've gotten the stenciling done, I'm going to remove my stencil, set that off to the side. I will wash it later. It doesn't really matter if the VersaMark sits on there for a little bit. If you're reusing a paste or something, you would obviously want to wash that right away. But the VersaMark doesn't really matter if it sits on there. I haven't had any problems with that. So now I've got some Perfect Pearls here in the color turquoise. Yes, Perfect Pearls comes in a wide variety of colors. I did get this on the Fairy Stamper website. I'm not sure if they still carry this color or not. If they don't, I will just link to the part of the website that carries all the different colors of Perfect Pearls, and that way you can see what Fairy Stamper has available. I'm just taking a tiny little brush with soft bristles, and I'm just kind of dabbing and rubbing it on. You don't want to rub really hard because remember, VersaMark stays wet for a very long time. So you're not wanting to smear this around. You just want to put it on there lightly enough that the powder sticks to your panel, sticks to that VersaMark, but you're not disturbing the VersaMark. So that's why I'm using a very soft bristle brush here, and I'm going with a very light hand, even though that might not be easy to tell in the video. But if you've never done this before, you might want to, you're just going to want to play around. You want to be very light-handed with this, because when I first started doing this, I did smear the VersaMark, so be very light-handed. So now that I've got that all on there, you can see You can see as I tilt this in the light, you will see this kind of like almost glowing effect because it's so shimmery. Now I'm just taking that big brush. I was just wiping off the excess because you will get powder where you don't want it. It's inevitable, but when you wipe it off, it will wipe off for the most part. Some of it sticks, I'm not gonna lie. But for the most part, it will wipe off. So I just wiped that off, and then I took a Swiffer duster cloth, kind of wiped that gently wiped that over my panel. I'm gonna say that gently, because again, you don't want to smear this. The VersaMark stays wet for quite a while. And then I took that Swiffer duster cloth and just kind of cleaned up my brushes, cleaned up my work surface, and threw everything away. All right, now that everything is dry, I am going to take VersaFine Clair in Shady Lane. That is a green, because I want my dragon to be green, because I just seem to think the dragon should be green. And I'm going to stamp that on my panel here. So I kind of envisioned the dragon being in the snow. That's just kind of what I thought that was my thought process behind this card. So I'm going to put him on the little snowbank here, stamp him a couple times, and then off screen I did color in his wings. I had an old watercolor brush that had green ink in it. I believe it was from Artsy. I think I got it from Michael's or something. I don't know. I kind of squished that onto my glass mat and then mixed it with a Nuvo aqua shimmer pen in Midas Touch that had some gold shimmer in it. Kind of mixed those together and then just kind of watercolored it onto the wings. I didn't do any fancy shading or anything like that. I just left it kind of simple, just filled in the wings. And now I'm using a happy birthday sentiment from the Fairy Hugs balloon celebrations, I believe it's called. Nope, balloon sentiments. So technically that sentiment was like the balloon string, and then you stamp a balloon on top of it. But I find that these sentiments are pretty compact, and I needed a compact sentiment. So I just used it as a sentiment, which I find that that stamp set kind of is versatile in the way that you can use just the sentiments, or you can use them as balloons. So this part here is a piece from the background when I cut it down, because that piece, remember, was a 6x6 pattern paper that we started with. I did cut it down for an A2 size card. So I just took a little strip and put it on the inside to bring a little color to the inside of my card, glued that down, cut off the excess, and that finishes off our card for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video tutorial. It was very quick and easy. The links for all the products will be in the description box below. The links for the Fairy Stamper Hugs Facebook group will also be down below. If you have not joined us over there, I suggest that you do. My social media links will be there as well. And as always, have a great day.